Welcome to the Heroes and Generals Vasilevsky update Videolog. We have just given our melee mechanics another iteration, using inverse kinematics and more precise animation to aid the attacker. It will now be easier for you to hit your enemy with knives, shovels, and wrenches. 2 stabs or swings at the chest will likely cause a kill, but 1 precise attack to the head will take down your enemy. Shovels have longer reach, but knives allow for faster, repeated attacks, so choose your combat tools wisely. We've also brought several changes to the recently released Forward Airfield map based on our analysis of action heat maps and user feedback. Most noticeable is the new X1 control point, which acts as an optional capture point between the church and bridge. With the right tactics, capturing X1 can give you an advantage in the fight for the village. The bridge now has additional cover both on the bridge itself and on the A-line riverbank, where the added foliage provides protection for advancing troops. There's also now a ladder going to the roof. On the airfield, additional cover has been set up around the command point to reduce exposure to shelling from tanks. Also, check out the new flags on the tents. That's another step towards creating even more dynamic environments. Additionally, we have moved many of the spawn points to safer locations, as well as performed a wide variety of bug fixes and performance optimizations. In the ongoing pursuit of a better action game experience, we have once more plowed through the visual effects library, both optimizing performance and improving the visual aesthetics. Some of the big sinners in terms of performance have been, among others, aerial bomb explosions, hand grenade explosions in water, 76mm HE round explosions, dust trails from light tanks, and smoke from planes. With the Vasilevsky effects update, you should also get a better distinction between impacts and explosions of various kinds. When firing a high explosive round from a tank, you will get an intense explosion on impact. But when firing an armor-piercing round, the result will look different and will vary according to impact angle and surface. Hitting a surface like the ground or a wall will not trigger an explosion, but will result instead in a vague impact. Hitting armor, but without penetrating, will cause an outside explosion clearly different from a high explosive round. Hitting armor at a steep angle will not trigger an explosion, but will end with the projectile ricocheting off the armor, without any damage to secondary targets. Hitting armor and penetrating will trigger an explosion with more debris and a prominent fire outlet. Also, explosions from grenades and mines have gotten a new hard-hitting overhaul, with more sparks, fire, and shockwaves. There have been several changes and improvements to various weapons. Let me show you a few of these. The anti-tank mines now give less damage to vehicles if they're not directly underneath the vehicle when exploding. We've added a new ammunition type called United Defense Super Plus P for the M1917 revolver. This is a badass overpressure round with a large and very powerful powder load. The PANZERSCHRECK muzzle velocity has been increased to 110 meters per second, which gives it a flatter trajectory and also means that you don't have to lead your target as much. And as a US infantryman, you can now unlock the M1 carbine at semi-auto rifle ribbon level 12. And there's also news on the strategy front. In this update, we introduced morale for assault teams to give more depth to the war gameplay. Every time your assault team enters a battle, it loses morale. Assault teams will regain morale over time when not engaged in combat, or by winning battles. But you cannot gain more morale by winning a battle than you lose by entering a battle. If morale falls below the hors de combat threshold and you encounter an enemy, your troops will surrender, you will lose all resources, and your assault team will have to be rebuilt to redeploy. If you capture an enemy assault team in this way, your faction gains the resources lost by the enemy. These are added to your faction's stockpile. So like in real war, you can't keep on attacking constantly, but have to stop and rest every once in a while, even if your assault team is winning every single battle in which it participates. And last but not least, we introduced new ribbons and combat badges specifically for assault team commanders. The first new ribbon is the War Victory ribbon, which unlocks additional command points, so you can equip more assault teams per commander. Your soldiers earn points for this ribbon by participating in a war on the winning side, and you also get points via equipped assault teams that likewise participate in a war on the winning side. The second new ribbon is the Battle ribbon, which unlocks the new Charismatic Leader badge. Your soldiers gain points for this ribbon by participating in a war battle, and you also get points via each of your assault teams that enters a battle. You get more points for victories than for just participating in a battle. The Charismatic Leader badge, which is unlocked by the Battle ribbon, is tied to assault team morale, and speeds up how fast morale is recovered by assault teams not currently engaged in battle. The new Battlefield Commander badge also affects morale, and increases the maximum morale that an assault team can have. This badge is unlocked via the Tactical ribbon. And if your commander equips the new Logistics Expert badge, then his assault teams will have a higher movement speed. To unlock this, you must earn points in the Chauffeur ribbon. Besides the commander-specific ribbons and badges, we also introduce the Mechanic badge, which speeds up repairing vehicles while in combat, and is unlocked via the Driver ribbon. There are many more changes in the Vasilevsky update, and you can read the full changelog on our forum. That's all for now. Play the game at heroesandgenerals.com or find it on Steam.